Beast of War. So, another new review, guys. I gotta say on this one, this was kind of interesting, and the reason why I'm gonna go ahead and say this off the bat, if you guys like shark movies, obviously for what you're seeing on your screen, and survival and horror, obviously this is gonna have everything. So, this story is based on true events in 1942 during World War II. You have this Australian militia that go, they we see them get trained, and we go into, they get attacked by Japanese freighters, and they get their ship gets destroyed, they get stranded, and then they get attacked by a shark, by a great white. And you have these two main characters, one by the name of Leo and another one by the name of Will. And Will is he's kind of like the young guy of the group. He pretty much does not want to go to war. He's unsure about himself. He's unsure if he's going to make it. Leo, he's kind of like the big brother that Leo needs. He becomes his best friend. He becomes like his like I said, the older brother that he needs, because Leo, he comes from a hard past. Like, we see throughout the movie him getting visions about what happened to his younger brother when they went scavenging for either coconuts or something, and his younger brother got attacked by a shark, and he's been pretty much holding on to it ever since he was younger, and he's been having PTSD from it, and seeing this shark pretty much brings it all back. Well, there's only like a handful of survivors, and when they start trying to figure out, like, okay, why did the shark come, how to avoid it, and they're on pretty much a metal bracket, pretty much, of what was left of the ship, and that's how they pretty much are surviving at the moment with very minimal supplies, because you got someone that has a head injury, you got someone that is also they have wounds, and they're trying to survive. But it doesn't last very long, because the entirety of the movie kind of picks up rather quickly to where each of these soldiers lose their life very quickly. And Leo is really the only one that kind of knows what they're dealing with because of his background with sharks, and he starts telling them, don't do this, it's probably like a 20-footer, female, very big, and the shark pretty much is hungry, due to possibly wanting fresh meat and smelling all the blood, because you gotta think, and the reason why I enjoyed this story was because, again, during the time frame of World War II, there was a lot of stories that could be far-fetched or true, and again, with this being based on true events, this is something that I could really see happening, and probably already knew this probably happened because of everything that happened during this time period. Because you gotta imagine, even before this, you're going to war, and you're on a ship or in a plane, and obviously they're going to get shot down, they're going to get destroyed by enemies, and you're going to be stranded. Anything can happen, from sharks to, fever, to killer whales possibly, whatever. And with them fighting against this shark, having only one gun, having to, their knives, having to do whatever, and they pretty much rely on one another, but at the same time they're having to deal with one that is not a team player. And this was pretty much about, when you're in the thick of it, whether you're in war or whether you're stranded, you got to come together, and this is about brothers in arms trying to survive with each other through the best of their abilities. And I think that's why I like the movie very well, because, was it the best movie? No, but it was pretty much one of those movies that, again, goes straight to streaming or DVD, and I could see this back then being on Sci-Fi or straight DVD back then. But overall, I think the movie was very dramatic, and it really showed what happened, because, like I said, between the two characters, Leo and Will, who evidently survived and pretty much became like brothers, and Leo was willing to do what he had to do to help Will survive, because I think at the very end, he kind of knew what he had to do, not only to give him some kind of peace and redemption for what happened to his younger brother, but to also kind of save the younger brother that he kind of took on, because if it wasn't for Leo, Will, I don't think would have gotten as far as he did, because he kept saying, you know, we need you, we need you, we need you, and him trying to keep Leo in that, you know, mind frame of, you know, if it wasn't for you, I'd be dead by now. And I really like that camaraderie between these two characters. Of they built a brotherhood instantly, because one of the first days of training, you know, Leo saves Will from a you know, being sucked down into the mud, and he, you know, carries him throughout the entirety of the training session, and they get through the very last few seconds, and the commanding officer even says, you know, y'all are going to be doing this, and they're like, well, why? And he basically looks at him, he says, because he saved his mate. He's obviously something you don't know about, which, again, you know, it's camaraderie, it's brotherhood of, you know, you're gonna be there through the thick and thin of it, which, you know, anyone that has respect for that can honestly enjoy for a movie, or, you know, whatever you may watch. But I would recommend this movie to ones that have not seen this film. Again, you know, there's shark movies, you've seen them all type deal, but overall, I think this movie, if you've seen it, you'll probably will enjoy it, and just give it a shot, and you probably will enjoy it. It's on AMC Plus right now, so definitely give it a shot. I'm pretty sure it's out there in other forms of streaming services you can check out, but definitely let me know what y'all thought about this movie, and if you've seen it. But either way, go check it out, and hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you as always on the next one.